Hey everyone, welcome to the first ones to die. I am Jonathan. I'm here with Alex and Jerome. What? We're here on a Sunday, you say? Oh, that's right, because it's Mother's Day. So happy birthday to all the mothers. Happy birthday. Happy Mother's
I
Day.
mean, maybe somebody's mom's birthday also happens to fall on Mother's Day.
Somebody's mom
That's
might be having a
true.
birthday today. We were just talking about birthdays right before this podcast. So happy Mother's Day anyway to all the moms out there. We hope you're having a great day and we hope this podcast brings you some joy today. Jerome, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm chilling. Got me some 0 calorie wild berry drink. I don't know what this is. I don't know if you can see it because all the light is reflected off of it. It's Cascade Ice, which is like the knockoff brand of the ice carbonated drinks. But I'm doing good. You know, I've been reading Invincible. So if you you want to hear our thoughts about the Invincible TV show, that was the last episode. Checked out that review. It was great. And I'm having a good time reading the rest of the series. So that's been my existence for the past couple of days.
Nice. Alex, how you doing?
Good. It's been a weird week for me. It's gone by so quickly, yet so slowly. I have no idea about anything, but it's been not bad, not bad. How about you, Jonathan? How you doing?
Same. I feel like my week just started, but it also just ended. Maybe it's because like there's so much going on. Maybe it's because I'm like not looking forward to things to come. There's so much stuff going. I don't know what it is, but it's fast and slow at the same time. I'm just ready for summer. I'm ready for summer
Agreed.
at this point. Yes. But regardless, you know what we're also ready for? We're ready to talk about our favorite TV and film moms. So to start off this whole discussion, when you guys think of moms in TV and movies, what comes to mind? Like what tropes, what stereotypes, what things come into mind when you think of
I mean,
moms
if
as
you're
a
asking
whole?
if you're asking about Disney, this is dark, but they're mostly not around for various reasons.
Uh
And on a
It's
lot of
just
sitcoms as well. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
usually the
so
dad raising the
weird.
kids.
It gives the kids a reason to rebel. Mom's
TV and
not
film
around.
does not appreciate motherhood. Like they,
They don't.
they
You know what? I was actually talking to my mom about this because I was recently at Target. And I walked past the Mother's Day cards and I was like, a lot of them are about like drinking or secret drinking or like, oh look, now you can have wine out in the open. And I was talking to my mom, I'm like, are mothers okay? What is with all these cards and drinking? And like I know a lot of those cards are actually aimed at like the white moms. And there is that
The
trope of
rose
white,
all day.
yeah, the rose all day or
what
white
is that
moms.
about? Do white moms struggle that much that they, as soon as they're
I don't
alone, they just
know.
want to
I'm a little
drink
concerned for them
immediately?
now and what's going on in their face after seeing Mother's Day cards and all the wine and like alcohol drinks on it. I'm like, are you all okay? Because there is that trope also, like, oh, the white mom's always drinking like Chardonnay or rosé, and it's like,
Or
why
mimosas?
though? Or mimosas.
Because that's just I guess that's society's way of how moms treat themselves.
Like have fun.
Whereas, where the only that's their only personality trait. That's the only way they know how to treat themselves is by drinking.
By
Moms
getting
can't go
lit.
skydiving. Moms can't go rollerblading on the weekends.
So
Oh no,
what
they
you're
only know how
telling
to.
me, moms are not okay.
Society thinks moms not are not okay.
But also one of my favorite tropes is definitely like the mom, like, which I mean, I guess it rings true as well. But it's like the mom is normally out of all the parents. Normally, the mom is the more understanding parent. Like it's always like dad's the authoritarian. It's his way or the highway, and that is it. That's all there will be. Versus like with most movies and TV, it's like the mom is the one who's like, you know what, Charles, you should be a little nicer to Darren. Okay, he's a good kid, and you should just listen to him. I'm just like, yeah, mom, you tell him. All right, Darren's going through a lot right now. He needs some support.
You know what's also another huge trope for moms is, and I've seen this on the internet a couple times, so I can't take credit for this like full thought. But when they make the entire platter of breakfast, the kid is rushing out to get to school, and they only grab a piece of toast and drink a swig of orange juice. And the mom is left sitting there with that whole entire,
With
she
all
set the
this
table.
food.
I was always upset when I saw this because I was like, that's a damn good looking breakfast.
Exactly.
Like my breakfast got left on the stove. And I had to make sure to leave a portion for my sister. Like if I had pancakes and omelets set up for me, I would totally sit down.
That trope though doesn't make sense to me because I'm like, it's a school day. Did you expect them to get up early enough to eat all of that? Like when I was a kid, it was hard to get me up to go to school, and even then, it was so early in the morning. My mom was only up enough to drive me to school. She was like, you can make your own cereal for breakfast. I'm not cooking you no whole Sunday breakfast meal.
I know that's a weekend
Certainly.
breakfast. That's a
Right.
weekend breakfast.
Yeah. No, my mom was like gone by the time I woke up because she had to go to work early.
Mhm.
When she got laid off, it was like my senior year of high school from her job. So she was home more often, and it was really weird to wake up and her be there. And she's like, "Oh, let me make you breakfast." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no, yeah, sure." Like I didn't want to be like a jerk, but I was like, "Yeah, no, breakfast, great. I'll eat." I was so excited to eat. I was like, I never understood that with like kids trying to book it out. I was like, no, yeah, you want to make me breakfast and happy with that.
I'm sorry, Alex. I didn't mean to
No,
cut
you're
you
good.
off.
You're good.
I just remembered like though my favorite Mother's Day memory though is one time me and my sister tried to cook pancakes for my mom, and we didn't realize we never made pancakes before, so we didn't realize that the batter wasn't fully finished yet.
Ew.
But like when we cooked it, it was like warmed up enough, but it wasn't like, really like it wasn't pancakes yet. It was like in between. But because we put like vanilla and cinnamon and all this other stuff in it, it still tasted good. So you're just like, yeah, we did it. And our mom was my mom was very nice about it. She's just like, I appreciate the effort, but y'all ain't finished cooking these. Like, I'm sorry, I'll make some pancakes. We'll make them together. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. But I just remember I was like, that's a story that you like see in a movie or cartoon where it's like the kids try to make breakfast and it goes terribly wrong, and so the dad is the one who actually cooked breakfast, and they're like, yeah, we did it together. Yep, we sure did. Wink to Mom. Like they weren't getting it, but it's the effort. It's the effort that matters.
I would always try, and growing up on Mother's Day when I knew it was coming up, I would be like, okay, Dad, we're gonna make breakfast for Mom tomorrow. But I would never, like when it would come to the day, I would always like stay up too late the night before, and then I wouldn't want to get up early the next day. And my mom, she gets up early on weekends usually, and she would always just like make breakfast herself, and then but then when I finally woke up, we would like do something for her or make breakfast or make something for her, and she would always just like graciously take it like, oh, I already ate like an hour ago. In her mind, she would probably be like, this is what I think she was thinking. She was like, oh, I already made myself breakfast an hour ago. I already ate an hour ago, but okay, I'll take this.
My mom knew how to cook eggs, and that was pretty much it. She wasn't the best cook, so we didn't ever have to worry about being like, we'll make you breakfast in bed. She's like, do you guys want to go out? And we're like, yeah, we're all good with that. So we didn't really do the whole breakfast in bed. We were like, do you want to go to like Cracker Barrel and stuff ourselves with that like TV style breakfast? And we're like, yeah, let's go.
They make some delicious pancakes.
They make great pancakes. I miss Cracker Barrel. So like that was a nice little thing. We used to go out, go to like eat or go to the movies. Yeah, my mom clearly can't cook very well. Me and Christian actually cook better than her. And thank goodness she got my stepdad, because he now cooks for her. Much healthier food. So
it worked out.
It worked out in the end, yeah.
That's good.
So who are your favorite TV moms and or?
Yes, let's get into it.
First one I wanted to mention was Miss Incredible. Mrs. Incredible. She's
an
amazing mom. I love Miss Incredible. First of all, let me just say something. First, she keeps herself looking good. So that's like the first thing. I only mentioned that because that
amazed.
Is like the meme.
Even the Disneyland like character, the walk around character, they have her proportions. Let's just say that they do.
Yeah, so this is incredible. But secondly, she is amazing. Like she can take care of the house, but when it's time to save the day, like Incredibles 2 showed that off. Like when it's time to save the day, she is the woman to do the job. Like she is incredibly good at being both a superhero and a super mom. And it's really great. And she has pearls of wisdom in there too. You know, she's always got like some nice advice for Violet and Dash, her two kids. So
the first thing, admittedly, the first thing I thought of when I thought of Mrs. Incredible was that video. Speaking of Disneyland characters, the video when she's on stage and her
head falls off. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I haven't seen that.
She
look it up.
She like trips a little bit and just like her whole head comes off, but she keeps her head ducked so you don't see the human head inside this like huger body than the human. Yeah, it was
it's like a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's
the costume character, and she's in front of a bunch of kids, and the kids are kind of just like, oh, they were laughing. They weren't scared or anything.
They weren't scared. Yeah.
Right.
I like Morticia Addams. I think she's a really good mad. Yeah. Because a lot of the times, it like starting in the show version, back in the 90s, she was seen as like weird and a bad mom because she was like all gothic and stuff. But she loved her kids. She was super supportive. And in the Addams Family movie, she was like, oh yeah, Wednesday wants to be a witch. And just like her great aunt. But, you know, we told her college first. You can be a witch, just, you know, college first. That reminds me a lot of my mom. It's like you can do what you want, but you know, college, Alex, college.
She's very supportive, you know, like despite how odd her kids are, she never like judges them for it. She's very like, no, they're doing their own thing. They are their own people. I will support them. They're my kids.
She never makes her kids feel like what they like is weird or odd or anything. She's like, all right, just, you know, be careful and, you know, do your best. If you're gonna be weird, dude. Like go all out though.
If you're gonna reanimate corpses, just do it with your safety goggles on, and that's that'll be okay.
There we go. I haven't seen any of the Addams Family iterations.
What?
I know. I know there was a new movie that came out recently, an animated movie. I think
it's okay. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
The live actions are much better.
I will say the first one. Yeah, I will say though. I've seen only parts of the new animated one. My favorite one was when they're like, oh, we'll find a new place to live where nobody cares, where it's dark and dismal and, you know, it's horrible like us. And it's like, welcome to New Jersey. I was like, wow, they just took a
New
shot.
Jersey just keeps getting like crapped on by everybody.
But it's home to the Addams Family.
Catch a break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind for me, who probably reminds me the most of my own mom, is Trudy Proud from the Proud Family.
Trudy! I swear half of that dialogue in that show is Trudy!
Probably.
Yeah.
And then she would yell back, Oscar! And she was just so like gracious and kind and sweet. And she was always quick to check Oscar when he was acting a mess. And it reminded me of my mom because she is kind and sweet, and she'll check my dad in a second. But yeah, she was probably one of my favorite moms growing up, and yeah, she just had that kind soul about her, and she kind of looked like my mom as well, like with the skin and hair, and she just like had my mom's demeanor. So I'm like, yeah, mom.
Oh, that's good. I remember that show. I used to love that show.
I still do. It's a great show.
I haven't seen it in forever, so I don't know how I feel about it anymore. If I like a really old cartoon, I don't entirely like to go back and watch it, because then I just remember things that are like, oh, that was a shot at like my racial features. Like, come on, dude. I enjoyed this.
I will say for someone who binge watched The Proud Family when it came on Disney Plus last year, or whenever it came on Disney Plus, but I watched it last year. It does hold up, and it's still funny.
Okay.
So
because they did have like one Latin character. What was her name?
La Cienega.
La
Well, they
Cienega,
had her. They had her,
Which is a
and then her
nice and
family.
pretty
and then
name.
her
Yeah.
family. Yeah, her
Yeah.
family
But
was
they
also
didn't give
in
her
there
a
too.
stereotypic name. For a second, I was gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna say like Maria or something." I was gonna be like, "Wow, of course." But no, that's actually a really pretty name. Um,
Well, her name is La Cienega. Sorry,
no, you're good. You're good.
side tangent. It's not about the moms, but her name is La Cienega Boulevardes, which La Cienega Boulevard is a street in LA.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jerome? What mom
Oh,
next?
I was gonna say this is an unorthodox one, mostly because she's barely in the movie, but I'm counting it. I'm saying it here is Big Mama from Big Mama's house. All right, Big Mama from Big Mama's house has got it going on. She got a man. She is a super supportive mama, and she can dance. Like she don't let her age fool you. All right, she can have some fun, and I think that's really cool. I mean, and granted, I know a lot, like especially in the Black community, I know a lot of old Black women who are grandmamas and considered big mamas, and they can have so much fun. They're like the coolest people you know. But man, Big Mama and Big Mama's house, when she actually is on screen, and only the first one, because she's not in the other movies, and most of the time it's Martin Lawrence in disguise. But when
Yeah.
she's on screen and she actually is the Big Mama in the first movie, she's great. I enjoy her, and I forget the actress's name, and I'm sorry for that. But she brings so much life to that character when she's actually on screen, and she seems like she would be a great grandma to have as just like this person who's just like so full of life despite being an older person. And it's very rare to see. On top
Does
of
that
that,
remind you of your mom or just a mom you like?
I mean, it reminds me of my mom for sure. My mom is very, I would say she's very full of life. Like she's very fun. And she's very business oriented, but she's not afraid to like try new things and do new things and have adventures from time to time. My grandma is also like that, but less so just because she's older, so she likes to relax, enjoy her time, you know, go to church, that sort of thing. But she's also willing to like have a little bit of fun every now and again.
Be honest, does she wear like those big like hats at church?
No,
Really? I
no,
love
my
those
grandma's
hats.
not the hat ladies. I mean, she does have some church hats, I think,
Well,
but
you gotta
she's
have the
not
Easter
like
hat.
he doesn't have like the really big ones that are like out there, out there.
Oh, that's sad. I love those hats. I always find hats. I'm like, this is my next church hat. My sister's like, you don't go to church. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Every lady should have a giant hat.
Well, you could wear one of those hats at the Derby or at the what's it called? What are they
No,
called?
the Derby.
The Derby,
You
yeah.
know what's messed up? I don't know if it's messed up or not. There used to be this thing called Kittyland in Chicago, and it was just a tiny amusement park, and it was great, and I loved it. And right next to it was a dog track. Like you could hear the whistle when you were in the little amusement park too. And I never thought about that until I got older, and I'm like, I wonder how many parents just dropped off their kids at that amusement park, and then hopped over to the dog track.
I have to go, Daddy.
They're
Like,
right
stay
next-
here. Daddy has to go. Take care of his gambling problem. I'll be
Look,
back.
it may be Daddy's weekend, but I don't got to spend that much time with you. Go do stuff. Another mom I like. She's a bad mom though. Is Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development. Did you guys ever watch that show?
No,
I never watched Arrested Development, but I've heard good things.
It's good until Netflix got it, and then Netflix just.
I've also heard the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but Lucille Bluth was always one of my favorite moms. She's a terrible mom. Don't get me wrong. She's awful, but I did enjoy her, and I love the way that she was like with her oldest son. She was like, "Oh, I love all my children equally," and then she like a moment later they'll cut to a clip to her being like, "I don't very much care for Job." So she was just horribly honest, but she was also very manipulative. But she was funny, and I enjoyed her.
As long as they have, that range where it's like they have the different dynamics, they have something else to offer other than just like being a horrible person.
I mean, the whole family was all horrible people, so it kind of was like you all kind of deserve each other.
Okay.
So it's like okay. I don't know if it made it okay, but it was okay for the show. Fine.
As long as it's entertaining.
Yeah.
That's good. The next mom I was thinking of was, and this is a random one, but it's Jimmy Neutron's mom.
Oh,
And this one,
I didn't like her
she
at
was
all.
Judy Neutron.
Judy
Judy
Neutron, I hated her.
she could be
Gotta get
annoying at
Judy.
times, and like it's like how have you lived this long not knowing whatever, you know. And but I feel like she was more of the quote unquote traditional, like, stereotype of the mom.
She'd be
There's a
totally a
plane
white
going
wine. She would be singing
overhead. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but
very lightly.
I'm a hold for audio.
She totally was. She was total white wine mom or rosé mom. I wasn't a fan of her because she felt like dismissive towards her kid, and like for her everything could be solved with like food. And maybe it's because just my mom didn't cook as a kid when I was a kid. I was like, no, there's other things going on. No, I wasn't a fan of Judy Neutron. I thought she was
The main reason I liked her had nothing to do with her character, but it was the fact that she had the swoop hairstyle, the style that went up like that. And at the time, I was like, 10 years old, and my mom had the same hairstyle, and I would always be like, Mom, look. When I was watching the show, I was like, Mom, look, it's you on TV. And she got such a kick out of it. And to this day, like, I'll still be like, I'll still call her Judy Neutron, or I'll still call her Jimmy Neutron's mom, and she'll get a kick out of it. So that was the main reason why I liked her, but her character.
I appreciate that she's yet another one who like Morticia Addams, or she is a very supportive mom. Because at least Morticia, her kids' chaos only really affects them. And she's equipped to handle it. Like if it does get out of hand, like she's very
she is
capable. Judy is not equipped to deal with the crap that Jimmy Neutron does on a daily basis of nearly destroying that town every day. And yet she still loves her son.
But she doesn't even like acknowledge it too much either. She's like, yep, Jimmy's doing this. Well, I have to have dinner on the table by 6.
No, she's had episodes where she's been like, Jimmy, you can have your science experiments, not in the house. You need to put that away. Like
that's worse. Get it out of the house, destroy the rest of the neighborhood.
She's put her foot down a couple times with Jimmy. Like, but at the same time, it's like, my son is a super genius. What am I going to do? Like, he can find ways around me. I'm not as smart as him. But bless Judy's heart, she still loves her son. Like she still loves her son. I don't know why, but she still loves her man.
I need to binge that show this weekend. It's on Paramount Plus, so here I come.
What parent did you think was a good parent or mom, and then later on you figured out that like, no, this mom is actually quite horrible?
Lois Griffin.
She was better in the earlier seasons, but yeah, no, they made her like
in the earlier seasons, she's just a normal mom who's like pretty all right, and then they later changed her character to just be this awful person who constantly tears down her daughter, consistently does not give a crap about her other kids, complains about being a mom. Like she's like a terrible mom now.
She's terrible.
She only does her mom things because the script says she has to, but nothing in her character says she actually enjoys being the mother of any of the Griffin kids.
Lorelai Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls was actually a really horrible mom when I think about it.
I haven't watched. So side note, in college, we had these 3 girls who would always come up to our floor and watch Gilmore Girls because we had like a TV in our lounge. And they would always binge Gilmore Girls, and we called them the Gilmore Girls. And one day they never came back for some reason. I don't know why.
Because they found out you called them the Gilmore Girls. That's why.
Probably.
But
you're like, are they making fun of us? They're making fun of us. Like they're mean.
But I haven't seen the show, but I did see a clip recently that was talking about moms, and she wanted to be too much of like the cool mom, right? She wanted to.
Well, okay. So like, in all fairness, she did have her child when she was like 16, and she just, the way she rebelled against her parents. And before I was like, oh yeah, you know, she wanted her child. She wanted to have her own life, but also you're 16. you had you and your child live in a shed rather than listening to your mom and your parents. I don't think at first I was like, oh, Emily's really controlling. No, Lorelai, you were a horrible teenager. You got pregnant, 16, and then you had your daughter become like your best friend. And then there are moments in the show where she tries to like discipline Rory and be like, no, you're not doing that. And Rory's like, you can't tell me what to do. And she's like, I'm your mother. And she's like, since when? So it's like, you have a little disrespectful shit too. It's like clearly not working out for you. Yeah, she was trying so hard to be the cool mom and it was just ridiculous. No, after a while I was like, nope, the grandmother Emily, she's right. She could have provided better for both her and the baby. And it's not like Emily was ever like, oh, you have to give up the baby and continue school. She's like, no, you guys should stay here. You need to finish high school and go to college. It's like, what was bad about that? She was giving you an opportunity. Yeah, so that was like a mom. I was like, oh yeah, no, I was mistaken.
Man. One mom who I maybe knew as a kid was bad, but maybe know more now was bad. I won't put this just on the mom. I'll put it on the mom and the dad and all the parents involved. But Dede, Pickles, Rugrats, all the Rugrats parents were horrible parents. They let their kids go any and everywhere, unsupervised. They were babies, toddlers. They could have gotten killed multiple times throughout the series. Could have gotten kidnapped multiple times throughout the series.
That's true.
I
won't put that on just the mom.
No, I will say it's Dede because she was brainwashed by that doctor.
Oh, Dr. Lipschitz?
Yeah. She's like, Dr. Lipschitz says this. Like, woman, relax. Put down his book. You have instincts. Like, you just need to hug and love your child. You don't need to do all this. I always thought like Angelica's mom was kind of like terrible for a little bit, but then I'm
absolutely.
like, no, she's actually like a boss. She's telling her daughter, hey, this is a fan's world, so be better.
Okay, but that's not necessarily good, and that's not good for a toddler. Like that you're not around, and when you are, you ignore me because you're like working. Like, yes, get your money.
They
cool.
all were ignored,
and just but at the same, I'm just saying you can't like say one's better than the other when they both are guilty of the same crime, which is that they ignore their children.
Yeah, but
Angelica especially, because at least Angelica can talk, so it's not like she can't hear her. Like Tommy and the rest of them are babies; they can't make language. So if they're asking for stuff,
they can't make language.
Well, not what I mean. They can't much like me. They can't speak well just yet. So their parents are like, I don't know what they're saying. Like they're talking to me and they're babbling, but I'm not really getting it. I'm just gonna give them a series of things and see which one they gravitate to. Angelica is old enough to speak, and her mom still does not give her the time of day.
Well,
do you think?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you think Angelica's mom? What was her name? Charlotte, right? Charlotte. Yeah. Do you think Charlotte and Jonathan were on the low? Like, do you think?
Like what? I don't remember half of these characters. I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember the important ones.
Jonathan was her assistant or her.
Jonathan, that's
he was
right.
Her assistant. Yeah.
The guy who she would always call.
I feel like she would only hire. No.
She wouldn't hire anyone who like she's attracted to. She'd hire someone she can control, like someone's like under her thumb, essentially.
I feel like I always pictured her like assistant being a very effeminate gay man.
That might,
but I think that's another trope for all the movies. Really powerful women have that really effeminate gay man
as their assistant.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like, I'm just saying because we have the series all grown up, and Angelica grows up to be a pretty mean teenage girl. Like she knows right from wrong, but she's like rude and very self-centered. And I know where she gets it from. Her mom, who was very self-centered and did not pay attention to her at all growing up.
There are constant episodes with Tommy being self-centered too. All the kids are self-centered.
That's true.
That's their like teenage age.
Yeah. So like you can't blame like Angelica's mom. like all of them were just like, oh, I'm gonna do everything at the expense of everything. The only one who wasn't self-centered was Dill, and he was a freaking little weirdo.
Well, Dill and Kimmy.
Oh yeah, Kimmy.
Well, and Chucky
Kimmy was
too.
And Lil.
No,
because-
Chucky got like annoying at times because I remember
But
an
that's
episode.
because he's
What
like,
about Lil? Lil was fine, right?
No, Lil and Phil were annoying.
Lil and Phil were. I
No,
think it's because they
Chucky-
had each other to rely on, that they like are a little well more adjusted. But at the same time, it's like, and their mom was there for them. Like,
Yeah.
she was
a
the
rage
soccer
for them.
mom who was just always there to like take care of her kids. So they at least did have a very attentive mom.
They did. No, Phil and Lil had a good mom. If they cried, she knew. But
Chucky, I give a pass because he didn't have a mom for like the longest
well,
time.
no, there were moments in the All
his
Grown
dad
Up
met,
where
you know.
he was very dismissive of Kimmy's like Japanese side.
To be
And-
fair, the whole show was dismissive.
Well, no,
of
they
the
actually like
Japanese side.
brought it to light where they were like doing a family tree, and he's like, "Why do you keep wanting to hang out in this club?" And he's like, "I'm Japanese. I want to hang out with other Japanese kids for to understand stuff." And he's like, "Well, fine. If you don't want to be part of my family." She's like, "That has nothing to do with anything." And he got
That's true.
so offended by it.
I think it's more just Chucky's just like he's always had his little sister as a part of his life, and so he's protective, like, or rather, what's it called?
Then he should
Clingy.
be more understanding.
He should be more understanding. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just like he's just I understand it from a teenager's perspective. Like, it's just like when you have like a best friend that like you've spent all your time with growing up, and then they make a new friend who they spend a lot of time with, and you're like, well, I mean, I'm your friend first though. They're not like your best, but I'm your best friend. And it's like like a lot of kids get territorial with people that they feel like they're really connected to when they're teenagers, especially.
That's so aggressive.
I wanted to mention also,
I
while we're
think
talking
all
about
cartoon
Nickelodeon,
parents- Oh, okay.
another mom that I really like is Maddie Fenton from Danny Fenton. Maddie Fenton is yet another mom who not only is she a really good mom to Danny and Jazz, although she's also like, she is unaware that her son is a superhero, despite the fact that he doesn't wear a mask. So that's like weird. But other than that, though, yeah. Other than that, though, she's very supportive. She supports her husband, who's like a ghost hunter, and in fact, she's a ghost hunter, and she's really good at it. Like, I like Maddie.
I think all the Nickelodeon parents were just a little bit terrible. They made them very oblivious.
Yes.
And a lot of times I was like,
Mhm.
no. But then like I did not good stuff growing up and my mom never noticed. And I was like, okay, I can kind of see it. Parents aren't as observant as they believe they are. So maybe Nickelodeon has a more accurate description.
Maybe they were like,
think,
we're
yeah.
trying to make this a little bit more realistic rather than something
I
to
don't
aspire
know.
to.
I feel like parents are very aware. It's just you pick and choose your battles. Like, all right, like my kid is like, you know, they're playing with stuff they definitely shouldn't be playing with, but is it going to kill them? No. So I'll let it go. I've got bigger things to think about right now. Like, so it's like, you know, you pick and choose like what things are important and what things aren't.
Yeah, she didn't know. I've talked to her about it. I brought up stuff and she's like, when did you do that? I'm like, oh, did you were not aware? She's like, no. And I'm like, oh, well, that happened.
And even I'm going back to Jerome's point about like, or was it Alex's? Somebody's point about like most of the moms were missing on like sitcoms and movies. It's Jerome, and yeah, I'm thinking even Nickelodeon did that too, because Hey Arnold, he didn't have a mom or a dad actually. Rocket Power, they didn't have a mom. What else? There's probably other examples, but
The Wild Thornberries had a mom, right?
No, they had a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they did have a mom.
She was the normal one, matter of fact, because Nigel was insane.
Nigel was insane. They had one kid that spoke gibberish. I don't know why the teenager was
Donnie,
the way the teenager was.
Donnie
Yeah.
was crazy.
They just found him.
Debbie was a teenager.
I
Right?
feel like
was
Debbie
just-
is the way
I
she
don't
is
know.
because Debbie is before her dad had a midlife crisis and decided that they were going to go out into the jungle and film a documentary series because that's why she's the normal one.
That could be true. Yeah, what I noticed with like TV shows though, it's always, if you're missing one parent, it's the mom is dead. The mom's always dead. Or if it's the dad has left and abandoned his family. Which I'm like, why don't they just kill off the dad? I feel like things would be so much easier.
Sometimes the
Most
dad's
of the times
dead,
it's
but
more
most of the
so
time
abandonment, so they can have them
Yeah.
they can have them come back and be like, oh yeah, my bad, I abandoned you all. I think it would hurt more if your mom abandoned and came back. I feel like that's just too sad. A mom that I think a mom that reminds me of my mom a lot, and I don't know if she likes being compared to this, but there's just a lot of moments. Marge Simpson. I don't know if she's gonna like that.
Simpson, because I know you love the Simpsons.
I do love the Simpsons. There are just little moments where Marge is just supportive of her kids, or she'll have this like. My mom always told me it was a little difficult relating to me at times, and I understand that. I was not an easy child or teenager or even adult now. Not an easy person. So like I never like was upset with her growing up, like, oh yeah, she doesn't understand me. I'm like, I didn't understand me. I had no clue what was going on up there. So there were just like little moments in The Simpsons where like Lisa got depressed and Marge was like, oh, just smile, you know. When you smile, everybody knows how good of a mom you have. And then Lisa tried it and it upset Marge because she could tell like Lisa was hurting. So she told Lisa like, look, you don't have to smile, forget everybody else. You can be sad. And once you're done sad, I'll be there. You know, I'll smile extra for both of us. And it was just like a moment with like that I've had with my mom where, you know, she may not always get me, but in times where I do really need her, she'll be like, okay, you need to go through this. Well, go through it. I'll be here. If I can't walk you with you, I'll be at the end. She's like, but I'll be there. And you know, we always had our differences, but like Marge, she was always there when it was important to be there. So I think, sweet. Yeah. And then sometimes my mom would just growl at me too, like Marge. I swear she did. She may not want to hear that, but she does.
I think before we get into our last little bit here at the end, I did want to mention real quick, Aunt Viv. Big shout out to like OG Black mom of sitcoms. Granted, I know for a lot of people that's Claire Huxtable from The Cosby Show or Florida Evans from Good Times. No shade to them. They are fantastic. But when, you know, growing up 90s kid, it was Aunt Viv, Janet Hubert, greatest Black mom on television ever for me. Not only was she fun and she'll crack a joke, but she'll also be able to like sit you down and really teach you something. And on top of that, being a lawyer and like being like this accomplished woman, like she also set a standard for like the type of Black woman that is someone to treasure and to marry and be like your partner. So
what I really liked about Aunt Viv, just saying that, was the way she loved Will completely and fully. Like there were moments where she's like, I want to kick him out of the house, but I mean, I feel like parents all have that with their kids. But like, she was nicer to him than his own blood. Like his mom shipped him away. His dad booked it. He was technically related to Uncle Phil, and Uncle Phil was mean to him a lot of the time. Then his cousins were mean to him, but like Aunt Viv was always like, you belong here. Give me a hug. We love you.
Well, Aunt Viv is his biological aunt. Uncle Phil is.
Is that his? Oh, okay. Well, still.
That's why Uncle Phil always had like kind of an issue because he's not related to Uncle Phil except through marriage. Aunt Viv is like his actual aunt.
Well,
like
relationship. Yeah.
I also, before we get into our last segment, I also want to shout out two moms. I want to shout out J. Kyle from My Wife and Kids. She was hilarious as a mom.
She's great.
She was probably up with so much with that man.
Yes, for real. She was probably the funniest mom that I've seen on TV. Shout out to Tisha Campbell. And also, this is way out of left field, but Beyonce in Obsessed. She came into my house.
She is
She
technically
touched
a
my
mom,
child.
but I mean, her mom
I
thing
mean,
isn't really a factor in that movie, but sure.
She went.
no, she was that's like fair. Like this strange woman touched my child. I would go throw hands too. Like, don't touch my baby. Don't touch. It was like 2 months old too. Don't touch my baby.
She went because the woman was coming after her man, her kid,
To be
everything.
fair, I know a lot of women who they would have taken the risk to go after Idris Elba in real life. So they were like, I don't care if he's married to a woman who will actually kill me. I'll take that risk. I'll take it. Like,
literally, Obsessed came on a couple weeks ago on TV, and it was the beginning, and I'm like, should I watch this? I considered rewatching it for a second.
in fact, I'm sure Alex, I'm like, would you risk it to I know Jason Momoa is probably married. Like, would you risk like still trying to get at Jason Momoa even though he's married?
I could take Lisa Bonet. He's married to her. Dude, she's a vegetarian. She doesn't have good iron in her. She doesn't have enough protein. I can snap her like a twig. After she gets some meat products in her, maybe it'll be a fair fight.
Also, Jerome, a couple podcasts ago, you said that Beyonce only plays Beyonce in her movies, or maybe this was off the podcast.
I think this is off.
She did not play Beyonce in Obsessed. She did not play Beyonce.
She played Lemonade Beyonce. She played Beyonce on that album.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
She played the Beyonce you don't see on camera.
Not wrong. But
all right. Should we get to our final
are we rating moms?
We're not rating
moms. A+ to all moms. All moms that are, or at least, or rather, let me paraphrase, all good moms. A+ to all the great moms out there in the world who taking care of their children, get out there getting money, doing the business thing or whatever it is you're doing. A+ to you.
Yeah,
absolutely. So
I thought about this because we were gonna talk about our moms, but I just thought we could mix both of our endings we wanted to do together, of like trying to call our mom if we say what we want to say, but if we can't get them, then we'll just say it to camera and they can watch the podcast later.
Okay, right, who wants to go first?
I'll try
go first. Okay,
go
ahead.
Or Jonathan, you go ahead. Go first. You already volunteered, so go ahead.
Okay, let me pull up my mom.
If your mom
I'm pulling up my mom. I'm calling my mom right now, live on air.
Put her on speaker to the microphone, so that's probably the best way I'll be able to hear the recording.
Will Jonathan's mom answer?
And if she does, she's gonna say Punky because that's what she calls me.
Mine's probably the one that's the most at risk because mine is in a different time zone.
Mom. I'm on with Alex and Jerome, and we're doing a Mother's Day episode, and I just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, babe. Thank you, Jerome and Alex.
Hi.
They're right here.
Thank you, Jerome and Alex.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
They're saying, sorry, they can't.
She can't hear us.
She can't hear you.
I assume she can't hear us because I was like, you're on the phone.
I just realized that. Okay. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.
Oh,
all right, let me see if while I got some time, let me see if I can get my mom on the phone. I don't know if I can, but let's see. I'll turn up the phone.
Jay?
Hey, Mama.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I know it's probably late over there, so I'm gonna make this as quick as I can. So I'm on the podcast right now. We're recording right now with Alex and Jonathan. We're doing our Mother's Day episode, so I wanted to call and say I love you and a happy Mother's Day. And I appreciate everything you've done for me, and and appreciate you supporting me. And I just want you to know that right now.
Okay. I love you too. Thank you
Aw.
so much.
You're welcome.
I'm your number one fan. You know, I got you.
Aw.
Oh.
Thank you, Mama.
All right. Y'all did good.
We will. I'll let you get back to sleep. I'm sorry if I woke you up.
No, watching YouTube videos.
See, I thought you would do it. So I was like, she's probably up. Like, even though it's getting.
I'm watching Floyd Mayweather about to tell somebody. So, yeah.
All right, Mama. Well, I'll talk to you
All right.
later. Love you.
Gosh, love you.
Aw, you guys' moms are so
Uh,
cute.
Now I wish I would have said more. All I said was Happy Mother's Day.
Okay.
Gonna pour my heart out.
I was like so certain my mom was gonna answer. Now I'm a little worried.
Uh-oh.
She's got to
Now I'm
answer
like,
now.
I'm gonna be the mom. I'm gonna be the one with the mom who doesn't answer. Can you guys hear?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Ma, I'm calling from the podcast.
Hi, sweetie.
We're doing our Mother's Day thing, and I wanted to call and tell you I love you and happy Mother's Day.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you very much.
Love you too, and I appreciate all your support. You're a great mom.
Well, I love of you. You're all, gosh, the best kids in the whole world. I enjoy watching you and listening to you all the time. So I wish I could say I'm three of you, but
Oh,
Alex, you're the best kid in the world. I love you so much.
oh, thank you, Ma. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I love
Bye,
you.
sweetheart.
Love you too.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Aw.
Oh, I'm about to start like crying right here.
It's good
all
too.
the
You
mom-
have
all-
the moment that like every other show has where it's like there's always the one who like nobody picked up and it's just like oh.
I was like ready for that, honestly. I was like, your mom's answered quick. I was like, oh God, this is gonna be the one time I had the whole thought process, she's in the bathroom.
All our moms had, the mom tone, the sweet
They
tone.
did. That drove like, oh yeah, you called for no. Well, we have some good moms then.
We
For
do.
for sure.
Well, on that note, that was a touching note to end on.
Comment like below if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're hit us up on all our social medias at the first ones to die. What are you doing for Mother's Day? Are you going out to eat? Are you guys just having a dinner at home? You cooking them breakfast in bed? What are you doing for Mother's Day? We really would like to know and celebrate the moms. Or if you're a mom listening to this, how was your Mother's Day? Was it great?
Tell us about your day, yeah.
Yeah,
And
tell
if
us about your day.
And you want to see those beautiful moms that were on the other line, come to our Instagram and our Twitter, and you can see photos of them, of us when we were little, and us as adults with our moms, and see how they haven't aged, but we have grown immensely.
For sure.
All right. And where can people find you at as we end this episode, Alex?
You can find me at Alex and Nobody on Instagram. I am also the creator of the TikToks podcast, First Ones to Die. That's our name on there, where I post random videos and little clips of our episodes so you can take sneak peeks.
Nice. And how about you, Jerome?
Yeah, you can find me at NaJeromeRet on Instagram and also at RoboZoo Media to find out more about projects I'm working on and other stuff I'm trying to get going and showing and all types of other stuff.
And you can find me at Jonathan Keys, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you please. You can find us at The First Ones to Die anywhere you like. And someone is yelling on the street outside my window. And on that note, happy Mother's Day.
Happy
we hope
Mother's
you have
Day.
a great day, a great week, and take care of yourselves. Until next week.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.